Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob, I'll be your host. And in this video, I'm going to tell a story about how you make a thief disappear without using an invisibility spell. A minotaur is a good start, and I'll explain. You see, the story I'm going to tell takes place more than 30 years ago, back when I was in high school. So I don't remember all of the details exactly, but I do remember enough that it's pretty clear what's going on. Anyway, back then we played basic Dungeons and Dragons. And basic Dungeons and Dragons was always cool for us. The older versions of D&D, the advanced versions, first, second edition, and basic Dungeons and Dragons, have a higher mortality rate for characters than any of the modern versions. And that made it pretty cool for us. And, you get attached to your characters, and that's understandable, but it made your higher level characters that much more special to you. It wasn't a guarantee that you were going to get your levels. It's more guaranteed in the newer versions. But anyway, this isn't about that. We would also, because we didn't have very many players in our group, a lot of times each of us would run two characters in the game. And it worked out pretty good for us that way. So we had this one session where our game master, had this small maze-like dungeon he wanted to run us through. And there were like 3 or 4 of us as playing characters. And so we had a party that consisted of like 6 or 8 people. I don't remember. Like I said, it's been 30 years. So we go through, and it's pretty simple. Like I said, it's a maze, and most of it consisted of obstacles and traps. So we were pretty glad that one of the characters in the party was a thief. And for whatever reason, the player named his thief Dillinger the Thief. And us being high school kids, we thought that was funny. So anyway, take that as you will. Anyway, we're going through, and it's pretty easy. There were some monsters here and there, not many. Some slimes and oozes, mostly. And there were some other things, but I don't remember exactly what. But the game master wanted a classic maze with the Minotaur in the middle. And Minotaur is a pretty beefy creature for first level characters. At least back then it was. And so we come up, and the game master, I guess he thought that we would see the Minotaur and run, having been so close to the final treasure, and so far, just run away. Or we'd be stupid and attack the Minotaur and suffer a TPK. So which do you think we chose when we came across the Minotaur? That's right, we chose to fight him. The Minotaur was armed with this huge, great warhammer, and combat began. And when it was the Minotaur's turn, the game master decided he'd roll randomly to see who the Minotaur would attack each round. And instead of rolling something like a 6-sided die or an 8-sided die, which would be more than good for the size party we had, he decided he was going to roll a 20-sided die, so there'd be several numbers for each of the characters. So he rolls up Dillinger the Thief. So the Minotaur attacks, and he hits. So he brings that warhammer down, and he squishes poor Dillinger, kills him. And the rest of us go through, and we're doing our little nicks and cuts on him, not doing a lot of damage, but we're damaging him a little. So the Minotaur's next round comes up. Game Master rolls, and it's Dillinger the Thief. The Game Master says, no, he's dead. Re-rolls. Dillinger the thief. Game Master says, no, he's dead. Rolls again. Dillinger the thief. So the Game Master says, fine. And he decides that the Minotaur decided that he saw Dillinger breathe and he didn't want him to pop back up. So he smacks him with the Warhammer again. And we made him roll the damage because we want to see how far he threw Dillinger into the afterlife. So the rest of us, we do our little nicks and cuts. And it comes back to the Minotaur's turn. Game Master rolls, Dillinger the thief. And he says, no, that's not going to happen again. He re-rolls, Dillinger the thief. The Game Master says, no, I cannot allow that. Rolls again, Dillinger the thief. And so he's like, fine. And he decides that blood and sweat got in the Minotaur's eyes, and he smacks the thief again with the Warhammer. So we made him roll again to see how much further he threw him into the afterlife. And we do our little nicks and cuts. Comes back to the Minotaur. Game Master rolls, Dillinger the thief. Rerolls, Dillinger the thief. Rerolls, Dillinger the thief. And the Game Master says, this is ridiculous. And we said, next one you play where it lies. He rolls, Dillinger the thief. So he smacks him again. And we do our nicks and cuts. And throughout the combat, a couple of other people did get hit. They didn't die like Dillinger did, but they were close. But the Game Master wound up hitting Dillinger several more times. And in the end, we did defeat the Minotaur at first level. Of course, we know we beat him because he kept attacking the dead thief. And we got the treasure and everything. And about all that was left to poor Dillinger when it was over with was a hand, a foot, and 2 bloody chuck holes. There wasn't enough for us to even bother getting him resurrected. So we put the foot and the hand in the bag so we could bury it later. And we left. And that is how you make a thief disappear without using an invisibility spell. But another thing we did back then was we kept a book that we called the Book of the Dead. It was a 3-ring binder. And when a character died, we put the character sheet in the Book of the Dead. And we'd always doctor up the character sheet to kind of show how it died. Dillinger's character sheet had 2 bloody chuck holes painted on it. Kind of faint so you can still read the character sheet, but that's what went in there. Another character died in a fire, so we burnt the edges of the character sheet. But stuff like that. The book filled up pretty good. But that's the story of the untimely death of Dillinger the thief and how you make a thief disappear. Thank you for joining me for this story, and hopefully you'll join me next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.